a sliding finish, Mason Mount with a curler. There could have been more, and frankly, it wouldn't have been flattering to Chelsea if there had been more. All over the park, I think that was a really good performance from a lot of individuals and the collective. Dan?
Yeah, I think it was a good performance. Obviously, we're going to sit up here, we're nervous throughout, but if I'm honest, I think their best chance was that one in the 94th minute. I can't think of any other chance where they actually, you know, posed a real threat other than balls into the box, where Thiago Silva obviously, you know, was the guy to get that ball out to the halfway line. So overall, considering the form we were in coming into this game, I would say this is a very, very good win.
Well, Mason Mount out there taking the plaudits. He was excellent. Zakaria, excellent. Thiago Silva, Cucurella, there was lots to enjoy. We do have the big potential asterisk of the worry on the Reece James situation, but that we will just cross our fingers and hope for good news on. But do we think maybe just him fearing the worst, or I don't know, maybe we should all be fearing the worst and just be pleasantly surprised if it's not that bad, Jace?
Well, look, the truth is we don't know, and let's stick to facts. Things can be... How many times have we seen players get stretchered off and then, you know, 5-10 days later they're back playing again? It can happen. I think what we saw was a player that has had to work tirelessly and miss out on a huge amount of football for him personally, whether it be a club. I mean, look, World Cups don't come around that often, you know, and to be a starter in a World Cup, which really would have been, I think what we saw there was a lot of emotion pouring out. All I can do is cross my fingers and hope that it's not as bad as he looked like he feared it was. In my heart of hearts, I'm thinking it's just because of what he's been through on a personal level that he was finding it difficult to come off again. Let's wait and see what the scan says. Let's wait and see what the medical team say. It's not inconceivable that we could be seeing, you know, coming out. Not maybe, I don't know, maybe it's too soon for Forest, but it may well be against Man City. Who knows?
In terms of the table, level with Brighton now, a point off Liverpool, same games played. One further point ahead of that pack is Man United, who are about to play. And then Spurs, who've played a game more, 6 points ahead of Chelsea now. It's a lot of clubs fighting for not very many places, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, I think whatever team's able to put a run of games together, you know, 3-4 wins on a trot, they will quickly see themselves pull away from the pack.
And that's what it is. That's so true. That's what Newcastle have done, and it's actually what none of the rest have. Liverpool, you think, oh, hang on, they look good again, but then they drop it. Chelsea the same, Manchester United the same. It is that, and funnily enough, Newcastle are the only ones beneath Arsenal and City, Jason, who have been a consistent force for good. I believe Newcastle's only defeat this season is still the 98th minute at Liverpool. Yeah,
that's correct. And they're going about their work, and they've done it actually by not spending a huge amount of money. There's a huge, they call it the big Mo in America, momentum. It's a massive thing in sport at the highest level, and they've got that right now. We need to get that back. But look, I think from where we are now, there's a lot of traffic between us and top four, right? I think what we need to do is take it. It's a cliche, but it's so true. I don't think we look too far ahead. Inevitably, we will look at Spurs' results. We'll look at United's results. We will look at Liverpool's results. We'll look at... You're going to do that because that's what we do as football fans. But as far as we're concerned, the only result that matters for me now is winning against Forest.
Well, for sure, but going into that, as we watch the final Chelsea players leave the field down there, Mason Mount will be last with Koulibaly and Kepa before him there. Going into Forest, a clean sheet for the first time since Brentford in mid-October, Dan, and it was 4 defeats in 5 before that World Cup break. And, you know, and the one that wasn't a defeat was the Champions League. That kind of wasn't a lot on that anyway. So, goodness me, this mattered. Whether it was Bournemouth or, you know, Barcelona, it's had to be a win today. You kind of didn't want to big it up too much pre-match, but it was a must-win.
It was a must-win, you know, and Jason said it there. Momentum is a huge thing. We had bad momentum, you know. When you start losing, sometimes it becomes hard to even get a win anywhere. So we needed that clean sheet. We needed that win. We did control the performances. Well, that was a good performance, you know. Maybe in the second half we didn't carry as much of a threat as we would have liked to, but it was a good performance. If we can go to Nottingham Forest now and build on that, get another clean sheet, get another win, all of a sudden now you can start looking up the table rather than worrying about what's behind you and what's in and around you.
Well, it's the final game of 2022, Jason. Another typically quiet Chelsea year. Just, you know, a few different trophies on the go. Another change of management, a change of ownership.
Oh, wow, what a football club we are.
Imagine being anywhere else.
Wouldn't
it would
have it
seem
any other
dull,
way.
wouldn't it?
Wouldn't have it any other way. It's we are a remarkable football club, and as I said many times, we managed to function under chaos and change, and you cannot have more chaos and change than any other football club in probably football history, certainly in this country, has had in the last 12 months or so, and we're still here. You know, think about what's happened before that with COVID. Everyone at this football club has gone through a huge amount, us and the fans and everyone, whether it be at the coaching level, playing level. It's been a crazy last 12 months, but we're still here, folks, and we're still fighting for that top four.
And you just never know, do you, Dan, in terms of what might happen. The incredible record, I'm just going to check it out here to make sure I don't get it wrong, but even mid-season appointments, and there have been a lot of them in the recent years, only Avram Grant and Gus Hiddink, second time around, didn't win a trophy in that first, I'm going to say it's not even the first season. Of all that, you know, Rafa has come in and won, Di Matteo has come in and won, Tuchel has come in and won, I could go on. It's crazy, and you know, we're about to kick off 2023, and by the end of it, you know, Potter might have managed Chelsea to another Champions League.
Or an FA Cup.
Or an FA Cup.
Who knows, you know, this is the good thing about being a Chelsea fan. It will make you old overnight, but it is invigorating. It is always exciting. You're always in the mix for something, fighting for something. So yeah, let's hope that Graham Potter can continue that run of coaches that come in halfway through a season and are able to have a positive impact on us. It's a good start here, and if we can get another good win and then perhaps beat City, then we're on the move.
And Jason, just on him, specifically on him, I mean, we all needed it, fans, players too, but he needed that, because, you know, I wouldn't say knives were out, but certainly pressure was on.
Yeah, and that's because,
you know, he needed it. You imagine if Bournemouth nick a win or a draw here late on.
Well,
he's under serious pressure.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a big argument, say the biggest game of his managerial career in terms of what it meant for him personally and also us, because he felt another couple of losses and Liverpool gained momentum and United start doing, they kick off in around about an hour and a half's time, and you think about other teams that are around us. So yes, but he was I listened to his press conference, he was very calm. He was saying these things happen in football, you know, sometimes you can't explain it away. There's a number of reasons why, for me, it's been there. Injuries, clearly, and there's a different philosophy, a different way of playing, a change in the way that we approach games. It's going to take time. Look, Arsenal 18 months ago wanted Arteta out. Look where they are now. So I think we need to bear in mind, I think we need to really take stock. We're a different club now. We will see exactly how different we are in the next 12 to 18 to 24 months. But I think Arsenal right now is a very good example of, if you can sit and trust, what can happen.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Dan. So, thank you, Zach, earlier. We're going to head back downstairs now. I'm looking down at him. I can see Zach. I can see Joey's waving. It is time to go from upstairs to downstairs. Happy New Year, everybody. 2022 has finished with what we needed, a Chelsea win.
Zach in the first. Thank you very much, boys. Yeah, Chelsea 2-0 winners here at the Bridge against Bournemouth. Thank you up there. Thank you very much to Jason, Ben, Dan, and of course Zach for your first half performance in the commentary team. Thank you very much. Brilliant as always. Chelsea 2-0 winners here at the Bridge against Bournemouth. Quaker, it started very well. A Kai Havertz goal, which is something that everybody wanted to see.
Exactly. If you would have picked a perfect goal scorer, Kai Havertz would have been one of the first names on that list. He took this goal well as well, got into a great position, and that's what we want to see. Raheem Sterling's assist as well, and especially if he's going to be the man starting down the middle for us, he's definitely going to have to take those chances, and he started off the game great for Chelsea, and we really went from there.
Absolutely right. Just before Zach gets thrown out. Zach, let's talk about Mason Mount's goal in the first half, because some players need a rest. Kai Havertz done brilliantly well to get us underway, but Mason Mount needs to be playing, and we know how good Mason is, and you could see how much that goal meant to him.
Playing in his best position today, playing in his perfect position, I think his ideal position, just behind the striker in that 10 role. That's not to say he can't do it also in 8 or any other positions, but I think that's his ideal one today. I thought it was a really good team performance. Takes the goal really, really well. We said up in the gantry that actually that's the goal that you practice all the time in training. Someone rolls it off to you, you kind of bend it round one player in between the other player, goes in bottom corner, makes it tough for the keeper to see when there's so many people in front of you. And everything kind of came through him. I thought Kalidou Koulibaly was another brilliant guy. Always, every pass out of the back. Finally, we're starting to see this guy who has a brilliant passing ability onto him. I thought everybody here today had really good performances, had really, really strong performances. And yeah, can't complain with that. Can't complain.
Quaker, if you're doing a tick list for today, 3 points would be the first. That's essential because it can be a difficult game at home to get the season started again, get that underway. Another one would probably be a good performance again from Denis Zakaria, because the World Cup come at a difficult time for him because he was starting to play really well and sort of stamp his authority on the team. He's done that again today.
Definitely. It's a great performance for Zakaria. We saw him against Zagreb and put in the man of the match performance, scored a goal in that game. And it's great to see a midfielder of that profile really come to prominence at Chelsea, because we missed that. I know Ruben can provide some of the things that Zakaria provides, but his gait, his ability to get box to box, he's a really good addition to the squad and a really good addition to the starting lineup as well. And hopefully you see him utilised going forward at Chelsea. And like Zach said, there's so many players that put in good performances, and this is what we needed, especially coming off of a break where before the break we weren't in the best of form. So to beat a side that's traditionally been one of our bogey sides at Stamford Bridge, it was great to see, and I think everybody performed well to a man. So there's no complaints from me after this game.
Absolutely right. And Zach, just on that as well, because Graham Potter's he's using his squad well. You know, this is a difficult period, and it's going to be a sticky period as well. Next couple of weeks, there's a lot of football to be played. There's players that are coming back from injury, players that are coming back from a difficult World Cup period, players that usually around about this time start to feel things as well, even if you've not had a full-on World Cup as well as a season that's sort of midway through. So it's going to be important that he uses the full squad. And when you've got players like Zakaria that's coming in, making his presence felt, it's a positive for everything. Oh, it's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Especially with how injuries are going at the moment. Obviously, Reece James, hopefully that's not going to be long-term, because he was brilliant when he was back. I think we're going to have to use this squad. When you're in the position that we're in, obviously wanting to go far in the FA Cup, wanting to go far in the Champions League, wanting to finish strong in the Premier League, you're going to be playing a lot of games, and to do that nowadays, you need to have a big squad. You're going to have to make a lot of rotation options, and you need high quality. And Zakaria today showed that. He showed that he can play up to this standard, because before that there were questions around him. Would he fit into this squad? He wasn't getting starts. And so today, for him to have that kind of performance is really, really good. Obviously, hopefully having Ben Chilwell coming back, hopefully when Reece James isn't a bad injury and it's only a couple of weeks at max, fingers crossed for him, and wish him the absolute best, and speedy sort of recovery. You know, still got Ziyech coming back, you've still got Kovacic coming back after 2 fantastic World Cup performances. So yeah, it's about using that squad well, and also just kind of managing game load. Look, these guys have so much data behind the scenes. They know when maybe a player's getting a little bit too tired, when they're playing a little bit too many games, and so to have options like, say, Ziyech, Omari Hutchinson, who didn't even come off the bench today, that would have been amazing if we saw him. And so having these youth guys and Casadei and all these lot that could possibly come on as well. It's about being smart with the game management, and I think Potter will have that sorted.
Completely agree with everything you're saying there in terms of, you know, utilising the squad, the game management, and the experience of players coming in. We speak about confidence players as well, and Quaker, I don't know about you, but you have so much belief and confidence in Chelsea defensively with Thiago Silva, with Kalidou Koulibaly, with Kerr in goal again today, and I thought Kerr was fantastic today.
He was, and I suppose the mark of a great performance from a keeper is if you don't notice them. He did what he was asked to do when he was called upon, but the eraser back there is Thiago Silva. I think we're just blessed to see him. We're very, very lucky to see him he does his post-game circle of the pitch, and I think we have to appreciate what we are seeing, one of the greatest defenders in the modern age, and he makes everybody back there calmer. He makes everybody play better. We saw the best in Kalidou Koulibaly, you pointed it out. We saw Cucurella have one of his best games in the Chelsea shirt, and I think that all stems from Thiago Silva. He's a sight to behold, especially when he just snuffs all out the danger out, and it's incredible to watch him in person, and I think that's where the defensive confidence comes from. A player like that who's got so much experience, and from that stems so much confidence within the back four. And I like the fact that we went with the back four as well today. I think that's something we should see going forward, because it offers us more options going forward. Overall it's a great day for Chelsea.
Absolutely right, a great game, a great day, even in the rain, boys. Thank you very much, brilliant as always. Thank you very much. 2022 is a different year, but we're Chelsea Football Club. We were born different. It's what we do, and it finishes with the cherries on top of the 2022 cake. Happy New Year.